Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hivemind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Alright, so the news cycle just got real complicated. I'm recording this video yesterday, obviously you guys are seeing it the next day. That's the way that I have to operate my YouTube channel, considering all of my videos need to get reviewed, of course, by the YouTube Gestapo. And because of that fact, yesterday I made a video of the president standing his ground and refusing to sign the stimulus package. And of course, as that released, he had later signed it that day after I had recorded the video. I still released the video because I thought a lot of the points that I made were still valid. And so a lot of people are projecting a whole lot of negativity that the president folded, he caved in to the establishment and signed the bill. But it's a whole lot more complicated than that. And here's the thing, the president might have a secret ploy here. He might have a trump card, so to speak, an ace up his sleeve. Or at least he's trying the best that he can with the hand that he's dealt. Of course, we spoke about it last time that the establishment does this all of the time. They put the president between a rock and a hard place, putting him in a position where he feels as though he only has one option, and that one option is to sign the bill. They waited to the last moment, they waited to Christmas. It's either sign the bill filled with pork, or millions of Americans are going to suffer and lose their benefits. And even with that said, my perspective was the president shouldn't sign it, and I think most people have that same perspective. But here's the thing, did the president really cave in by signing the bill? Potentially, but I also think not. And so I'm going to explain everything to you guys, but before we get into any of it, please make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, share the video as much as possible. We are still shadow banned by the YouTube algorithm, hidden from non-subscribed viewers. Now with that out of the way, let's roll the tape. Alright, so what I just said there is important. Did the president cave in? Did he fold? It's not really that simple. The first thing is, technically the president could not veto that bill. The Senate passed that bill with such a high majority that it's essentially veto proof. The president couldn't stop it, and so essentially what he did was invoke the Impoundment Control Act of 1974. And so here's the president's plan. First, let's read his statement. Statement from the president on December 27, 2020. As the President of the United States, it is my responsibility to protect the people of our country from the economic devastation and hardship that was caused by the China virus. I understand that many small businesses have been forced to close as a result of harsh actions by Democrat-run states. Many people are back to work, but my job is not done until everyone is back to work. Fortunately, as a result of my work with Congress in passing the CARES Act earlier this year, we avoided another Great Depression. Under my leadership, Project Warp Speed has had tremendous success. My administration and I developed the vaccine many years later, ahead of wildest expectations, and we are distributing these vaccines and others soon coming to millions of people. As president, I have told Congress that I want far less wasteful spending and more money going to the American people in the form of $2,000 checks per adult and $600 per child. As president, I am demanding many rescissions under the Impoundment Control Act of 1974. The act provides whenever the president determines that all or part of any budget authority will not be required to carry out the full objectives or scope of programs for which it is provided, or that such budget authority should be rescinded for fiscal policy or other reasons, including termination of authorized projects or activities for which budget authority has been provided. The president shall transmit to both House of Congress a special message, described the amount to be reserved, the relevant accounts, the reason of rescission, and the economic effects of the rescission. I will sign the omnibus and COOF package with a strong message that makes clear to Congress that wasteful items need to be removed. I will send back to Congress a redlined version, item by item, accompanied by the formal rescission request to Congress insisting that those funds be removed from the bill. And so that's a whole lot to take in. I know I read it fast, but here's the TLDR. This is exactly what's going on here. First, what is a rescission under the Impoundment Act? Put simply, if the president wants to spend less money than Congress provided for a particular purpose, he or she must first secure a law providing congressional approval to rescind the funding in question. The ICA requires that the president send a special message to Congress identifying the amount of the proposed rescission, the reasons for it, and the budgetary, economic, and programmatic effects of the rescission. Upon transmission of such special message, the president may withhold certain funding in the affected accounts for up to 45 legislative days. If a law approving the rescission is not enacted within the 45 days, any withheld funds must be available for obligation. And so here's the thing, the president has a plan, which some say it's a long shot, some say it's not going to work, but it's pretty much the only plan. It's the best plan at this point. And the TLDR, to put it in layman terms, is so the bill passed the House with a vote of 359 to 53, a massive majority. It then went to the Senate, an absolute super majority, 92 votes to 6, 67 is a super majority, and Congress can override a veto by passing the act by a 2/3 vote, meaning if they have 67 votes plus, they can override the president's veto. And so the president had to sign the bill, guys. 92 senators voted for it. And so now what the president's going to do is attempt to rescind point by point what he believes is wasteful spending in the bill. He's going to say, hey, this money going to gender programs in Pakistan, vote on it. I want less. Let's see what happens. And each and every government official is going to have to vote on each rescission, meaning we're going to know which GOPers who voted for this bill 92-6 are voting for gender programs in Pakistan and other wasteful spending. This is 4D chess, folks. It's also going to stall a lot of the spending for 45 days. And on top of that, the House is voting today, so you'll probably know the answer tomorrow, on the amendment to increase the $600 to $2,000 in stimulus relief. And of course, that's per head, so families are going to get anywhere from $4,000 to $5,000 to nearly $6,000 per family in stimulus relief. And so as we have stories like this, Top Dem slaps down Trump's demand for COOF package spending cuts and calls it dead on arrival after he finally caved and signed relief bill, while Mitch McConnell makes no mention of the president's $2,000 check demand in statement. And so the $2,000 amendment is going to pass the House, that's 100%. Whether it passes the Senate, we don't know yet. A decent amount of Republicans are going to vote against it. All the Democrats pretty much are going to vote for it. But if a couple Republicans vote for it, then it will pass. And then they'll have to vote on the rescissions to potentially reform the bill, meaning the president is most likely going to get the $2,000 for Americans. And then later on, there's a possibility that some of the spending, some of the wasteful foreign spending is cut based on how people vote on each and every element that the president outlines through the act. At least that's the way that I understand it. I've looked into it quite quickly, but this is what I understand, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is the president's plan here. And if that's the case, and if it works out, then the man's an absolute genius. And now, does this little excerpt from the president's statement make more sense? I will sign the omnibus and COOF package with a strong message that makes clear to Congress that wasteful items need to be removed. I will send back to Congress a red line version, item by item, accompanied by the formal rescission request to Congress insisting that those funds be removed from the bill. Item by item, friends. Not to mention, he also says this. On Monday, the House will vote to increase payments to individuals from $600 to $2,000. Therefore, a family of 4 would receive $5,200. Additionally, Congress has promised that Section 230, which so unfairly benefits big tech at the expense of the American people, will be reviewed and either be terminated or substantially reformed. And so he's also putting pressure on Congress to reform Section 230. And so look, a lot of people are doubting the president. A lot of people are so quick to throw him under the bus, say that he caved, this and that, but I don't think that's the case. And I think the president continues to do exactly what his track record would imply. He's fighting for the American people. He's playing the game. He's playing the hand that he was dealt in this poker game, knowing that he had absolutely no veto power in the first place, and is using a little bit of an obscure act that hasn't necessarily been used very often, which was created in 1974 in a creative manner that's either going to get everything that he wants, or that's going to lead to him getting the $2,000, and then congressmen and women will have to vote individually and show exactly where they stand on this foreign spending. The president's about to expose the Washington swamp to see who's a crony crook signing on to wasteful spending for crony lobbyist interests, massive corporations, and globalist foreign interests across the globe. And if that's the case, then once again, he's going to expose the racket that is swampy Washington. He's going to expose them for the bunch of Shreks that they are. And so hopefully I got this video right. Hopefully it made sense. Hopefully I was able to turn it into layman terms. Again, I'm not necessarily an expert on this stuff. This is just the information that I've gathered. It's how I've perceived it. And let me know what you guys think in the comment section, whether I'm full of it or whether I'm right on the money. But that's the video that I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Please make sure to leave a like, a comment, subscribe, share the video as much as possible. We are still shadow banned by the YouTube algorithm, hidden from non-subscribed viewers. Now I gotta get back to work, of course. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.